What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. I've been stalking a bunch of Koreans again to bring you some picks that are doing a lot better this patch than they have been doing before. I've tried to look at things that are different to our games as well, so hopefully you can surprise people with these. Let me know what you think, but let's just jump in. So actually there are two things that I want to mention very quickly at the start of this video. So Twitch is really strong here as well, but basically in every single elo in Korea, from bronze all the way to diamond, he is the best AD carry you can play. He's actually one of the best champions overall in general. Build wise, it's like Runins, Infinity Edge, and Shiv or Phantom Dancer, all with Blade of the Rune King thrown in there as well and taking Fervor as a keystone. This isn't really a surprise pick, but absolutely crushing over there. That's why I'm not going to go into it properly. The other quick thing is actually the Mastery Battle Trance. So you know the fourth row in Frosty, you can choose between Bounty Hunter, Double-Edged Sword, or this Battle Trance. You gain up to 5% bonus damage over 5 seconds while in combat. Now Koreans actually have such a hard-on for this Mastery. Like, they use it on so many different champions, especially AD carries, whereas we don't really. It might be something to try. Anyway, the first problem one in this video is Shyvana. Shyvana is a typical case of Riot over buffing. Like, Koreans have picked her up and are just abusing her pretty hard right now. I know she is good here as well, but she's not this good, and they play her a bit differently as well. She's actually probably on the level of Twitch, to be honest. A lower elo, she is like a top 2 win rate. It's crazy. It's also kind of funny, if these further changes on the PB go through, then she would be even stronger next patch, which I don't want to think about. The new jungle does kind of reward farming, right? There's not really a better farmer than Shyvana, really. Also, you can solo dragon now easily because your passive deals 10% bonus damage to dragons. They just massively buffed her. Like, she was the 33rd most played jungler last patch, right? And now she is the 3rd most played. They are really going ham with this pick. The whole meta is really turning into a tank meta right now anyway. Tanks with damage are the real dream pick at the moment, and that is exactly what they made Shyvana into now. A lot of this actually comes from their build, so it's completely different to what we use. We go like Blood Razor, Titanic, Deadmans. They are completely different. Shyvana's biggest problem has always been she gets kited around, right? She jumps in, they run away, you have trouble sticking to them, like to even use your autos or your damage. You kind of end up running around a lot. In Korea, everybody goes Blood Razor into Frozen Mallet for this exact reason. You know how much damage she does after the changes anyway, and now you can't even run away from her. After that, they just go straight Tank, Deadman's Visage. Some actually go Titanic after for even more damage, and that is the biggest difference and what is making her the extra kind of overpowered in Korea at the moment. Fervor is more popular at the moment, but Courage of Colossus is just as good. Both would work. It's kind of up to you if you want more damage or you want to be a bit more tanky. She also beats basically every carry jungler right now and every tank as well. Evelynn is about the most popular jungler she actually struggles against. She out damages other damage junglers, but she out tanks them as well. It's pretty nuts. So that was the biggest one. That's why it took the most time. But Crit Jhin, or hybrid version, I guess, is popping off so far this patch in Korea. Jhin has kind of fallen out of favor over here at the moment. He's not played that much. Your win rate has dropped down massively as well. But in Korea, he is the 2nd most popular AD carry in over 30% of games. That's insane on its own. He also has the 3rd highest win rate though. Together, that is ridiculous. The only AD that he doesn't have a positive win rate against right now is Vayne, but she is getting nerfed next patch as well, which will make him pop off even more. Lethality did kind of ruin his build a bit. Like, you can't really do the same thing anymore. There's no early game dominating and stuff like that. You used to have like a super high win rate early, then it would go down the later the game went. One of the biggest reasons is the build. Essence Reaver, Rapid Fire Cannon, Infinity Edge is the most popular one over there. It gives you cooldown reduction, but it makes your autos hurt. It's a different type of Jhin damage that we're used to. It's not just about your ultimate now. Your autos are a big part of that damage. There is also the hybrid one though. Ghost Blade into Infinity Edge or Rapid Fire Cannon, whichever order you want to get. It's more mobility and some early AD and arm pen to start with. It does feel kind of weird, right, to build a Rapid Fire Cannon straight after a Ghost Blade, but it's actually the highest win rate build at the moment over there. Remember, it's going to convert into some AD as well as give you the crit and a longer range auto. They definitely use the Rapid Fire proc a lot in Korea. It's mainly to hit from range and then snare with the W to set up a fight. The playstyle hasn't massively changed or anything like that, except you do want to auto a lot more now. Your ultimate's still really good early, like into the early game. It's amazing, but late game now you have all of these crits to kill people. I normally don't mention the runes or anything, but flat AD is the way to go at the moment, not lethality anymore and not attack speed. The next one is Nautilus. He's started to dominate this patch super hard, like the best top laner and almost the best jungler over there. In a nutshell, he's a tank. He abuses assassins, he abuses Courage of the Colossus, and is insanely high base damage. Courage does make him super hard to deal with on top of the defense he's already building, right? Like a typical tank, the longer the game goes, the less effective he becomes, but he's just so good early. Carry top laners cannot really fight you. You have too much crowd control and damage. I mean, eventually they will, but normally that's like too late by that point. Tanks can just kind of farm against you. Like, you're also perfect to gank for because you have so much crowd control. It's such an easy kill. If you think about it, you have 2 shields, right, to get through before you even actually touch Nautilus's health total. You have a slow, a root, 2 knockups, and a stun before you're actually able to fight back. That is way too much to deal with, really, and it helps that you can just press R and completely counter any damage champion in the game. There's no way to avoid it or outplay it. That is also just for top, right? Stick that in the jungle and you have good clear with your E, good ganks with your hook, enough crowd control to just lock someone in place while your teammates bash them. It's also super easy. Like, you're gonna really struggle to screw up playing Nautilus. Even Foxshot wins a ton of games on this guy. Build wise, it is full tank with ice spawn sometimes, basically like a Poppy. You're just too hard to kill, but you're able to kill people even with full defense items. That's really cool, right? Let's move on to someone who actually does some damage, which is Leblanc. I wondered when this would happen, but Korea's finally clicked with the Leblanc, and now she is a top 5 mid laner, crapping on people big time. One thing that's really obvious is she is very good early, but hard to play her late game. Like, that part people are still figuring out. When ahead, she works like she did before. Well, kind of two things actually. One, her damage is insane that early into the game, especially when you get some items. But number two, like, it doesn't matter if you mess up because you're so fed anyway. Last patch, she barely had a 50% win rate, and now it's close to 55%, which is like overpowered territory, like really overpowered. The way Korea seems to play her is like smash 1v1 the lane and then roam a ton. Pretty much how the old Leblanc worked, but now actually kind of maybe even better. One thing is for sure, they seem to find it easier to get kills 1v1. Maybe that's just because she's kind of new and her opponents don't know everything yet. I'm not sure. It actually is a kind of a big advantage, really. Like, if you know the matchup as Leblanc, but the enemy doesn't know how to play against you because you just got reworked. There is a cool trick they abuse actually all the time. When they roam, they use their clone to scout the enemy jungle, and it's kind of like a mobile ward. Like, it lets them know if anybody is moving to help the lane they're ganking. There's no surprise counter ganks, basically. Abyssal, Morello, Deathcap, it's just full jump in damage, really. And matchups, like, she beats basically every mage right now if you play her correctly. That is probably going to get her nerfed pretty soon, I expect. Like, when no other mage holds up properly, you know there might be just a little bit of a problem. Now, you definitely know we are hitting the tank meta, though, when Rek'Sai has the highest win rate out of any jungler above plat in Korea, even after those big nerfs a couple of patches ago. She does do a lot of damage with just Titanic, though. It's like one damage item and then gets super tanky. You're able to heavy gank, which is the perfect Korean playstyle as well. Your ultimate, when used correctly, can control objectives. It can like kind of counter gank, and you have good AoE clear for the jungle, so it means you can gank more afterwards and still keep up your gold income. The new jungle route, I think, is the thing that's actually shot her to the #1 spot right now, because red to Krugs, level 3, you gank with Rek'Sai Tunnel, red, flash knockup, watched a few games, and is in every single one of them. I have a video on that I did a few days ago, which you can check out if you want to, but basically the Koreans are abusing the crap out of this with Rek'Sai right now. Even just as a champion, she should be better now. Like, courage when you dive in and knock up, it's harder to burst you down, like even more of a meat shield, and it does make a lot of sense as a gank heavy tank jungler. Like, in theory, that's exactly what this meta is moving into. You have the early damage, right? You can clear fast to get a lot of gold and gank more, then you move into a tank and a front line, engage for your carries and absorb a lot while still being a threat. The strangest thing about this whole pick, though, is the matchups. Like, Graves, Kha'Zix, Elise, and Shyvana actually have a positive win rate against her, and they're all pretty popular. Now, normally when popular junglers have a good win rate against someone, that means they aren't very good, but actually, like, legit every other jungler Rek'Sai is doing really well against, and that is why she's #1 for now. It's also probably because she spanks Lee Sin, and he by far is the most popular jungler in Korea. You're kind of just a better version, actually. One of the main things really with this specific matchup, though, is you can interrupt his Q damage if you time your knockup correctly, and then he is actually screwed. He has no damage left. From one tank to another, I really wasn't kidding about tank meta, unfortunately. I said this in a video about a month ago, I think, that in theory, Volibear always becomes better when we see more tanks, and now he's actually doing a lot better. It's probably not going to show on every single website if you wanted to look it up. It pops up in random elo brackets, and it kind of keeps the top spot for a few days and then kind of fades away again. We are moving into a tank meta, whether you like it or not. Vayne is also banned more, or he's actually on your team, so you don't have to worry about that as much. You can go full tank, you still do damage, you still engage. Like, it also means your courage shield is bloody enormous. Cinderhulk, Visage, Deadman's, Righteous Glory, or Warmogs maybe, that is a ton of health, and it's going to make that shield so big, plus increases your damage as well. Righteous Glory is a lot more popular in Korea than it actually is over here, mostly a second item actually. They kind of use him a lot like Vice, a very similar playstyle, even though it sounds really weird because they're completely different champions. You keep ganking over and over when it's off cooldown, and you try to like just run in and flip somebody and set something up, and then take something after, like take an objective, take a tower or a dragon. I think Courage of the Colossus was a buff to Volibear. The new jungle probably wasn't the best thing for him though, but it's not terrible either. Overall, he's doing a lot better this patch though, and I think the more tanks we start to see, the more Volley will actually be around in our games. There is one thing though with the Volibear pick, it's like if Vayne is not on the enemy team, at least, that's not going to be fun for you at all. She invisibility kites you and there's nothing you can really do, and she pings you back with her condemn as well. It's really no fun to play Volley into Vayne. There is one final thing I very quickly want to mention, and that is brand support. He's doing a lot better right now in Korea. He didn't quite make it onto this video, but next patch I think he's going to explode. If the right eyes changes go through on the PB, it means it's 600 gold cheaper. The combo combination of Rylai's and Liandry's is 700 gold cheaper. So in theory, when he's already like a really good support in career anyway, and then it gets 700 gold cheaper to get his core items, I think he's going to be absolutely overpowered. I've talked about Brand in a previous video before, so I didn't want to go into it too in depth in this one, but I think actually next patch he is going to be one of the most popular champions in career and one of the strongest too. That is going to wrap up this video though. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And for now, I'll leave you with the robots.